Hello, good morning. I, Manoj Vishwakarma, welcome you to my YouTube channel Cyber Class. Now we are discussing values and data type. In the first part of the values and data type, we have discussed the Java tokens, that is the keywords, identifiers, and different type of literals. Today we are going to discuss the other portions of the Java token, that is the punctuators, separators, and the data items. Operator we will be discussing afterwards. Okay. Now, what is key, what is a what is an identifier? Identifier, as you have discussed, it is also known as a variable. Okay, because its value changes time to time during the time of program execution. Literals are the constants. Literals are the constants because their values remains unchanged throughout the program execution. Now we are discussing the operators and separators. Sorry, punctuators and separators. Punctuators means punctuator separator means some special characters are used in a Java program for a specific purpose. For example, we are using semicolon. Semicolons are used to separate a statement. At the end of the statement, we are putting a semicolon. That means it works as a statement terminator. In one line, you can write more than one statement, but they must be separated by semicolon. That's why semicolon is known as statement separator. Similarly, suppose you are going to separate two expressions, then you have to put a colon. So colon is you work as an expression separator. Okay. Similarly, comma is used to separate the statements. Comma is used to separate the data items. Suppose in a variable declaration we are writing int a, comma b, comma c, comma d, means it is used to separate the data items. Okay. Then now we are using double quote. Punctuators we are using double quote. Double quote is used to create a string. Single quote we are using. Single quote is used to create a declare a character. Parenthesis, that is the round bracket we are using. Round bracket we are using to create a sub expressions. In an expression, in a Java expression, always parentheses are used, means round brackets are used, other brackets are not allowed in an expression. So all the sub expression, a big expression can be separated into some sub expression. The sub expressions can be created by using the round bracket or the parenthesis. Okay. Then your curly bracket. Curly bracket is used to create a block. You are writing method. Method is a name block. We are starting the method writing, then we are putting the curly bracket, then we are writing some statement, at the end we are writing closing it by the closing curly bracket. So curly bracket is work as a statement used to create a block. Square bracket is used to create an array, means to keep the array index or to create the subscript of an array is kept enclosed within square bracket. Subscript of an array is kept enclosed within square bracket. So these are the most important punctuator separators, that is your semicolon, comma, colon separator, round bracket, your curly bracket, your square bracket, double quote, single quote. These are the punctuations. Okay. Now, what are the data types in Java? Data type is a very important keyword. Data type is a very important function in a Java program. Okay. Data type is nothing but it is a keyword. It is used to declare a variable to store a particular type of constant. Before going to store some data in a variable, that variable must be declared. As per the constant or as per the literal, the variable must be taken and the variable must be declared with a proper data type. Okay. So data type is the keyword used to declare a variable to store a particular type of constant. The main purpose of the data type is to minimize the wastage of the computer's memory. Okay. The main purpose of the data type is to reduce or minimize the wastage of computer's memory, because according to our requirement, according to our data, we can reserve some spaces in the computer's memory using the data type. So more spaces will not be wasted. Okay, by using the data type. Mainly data types are two types. One is primitive data type, one is reference data type. Okay, first one is the primitive data type, then second one the reference data type. First we will discuss about the primitive data type, then we will discuss about the reference data type. Primitive data type. Primitive data types are the predefined data types. These data types are available in the computers java.lang package. Okay, computers means Java library, it is available. If you require, you can use it. Okay, as we have 8 different type of literals, that is the literal can be integer literal, it is of 4 types: byte, short, int, long. Then floating point literal of 2 types: single precision and double precision. Then non-numeric literals, it can be character literal, it can be string literal, it can be boolean literal. So as per the literal, different data types are there. So these literals also, suppose 4 types of integer literals. Integer literals, 4 different types of integer literals are created based on the range of the data items you are going to, range of the numbers you are going to use. Accordingly, you have to reserve the spaces in the computer's memory. Okay, so primitive data types are the built-in data type. They occupy fixed space in the computer's memory. Okay, primitive data types are the built-in or predefined data type. They occupy fixed space in the computer's memory always. Okay, it is of 8 type, that is byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean and char. Okay, so we will discuss integer data type. Integer data types are the data types used to declare a variable to store an integer constant. Okay, as I told, integer are of 4 types. It can be byte type, it can be short type, it can be int type, it can be long type. Accordingly, there are 4 different data types of integer type. There are 4 integer type of data types. These are byte, short, int and long. Okay, now we will discuss one by one. Byte is a primitive data type, primitive integer data type. It occupies 1 byte or 8 bits in the computer's memory. Okay, if you want to store any data which can be occupied, which can be stored in 8-bit memory, then you have to declare that variable of type byte. So byte occupies 1 byte. Okay, but remember, out of one byte means 8 bits. Out of 8 bit, the first bit is used for sign bit, and the remaining 7 bits are used to store the data item. Remember, 1 byte, if you declare a variable of type byte, then it occupies 1 byte or 8 bits in the computer's memory. Okay, using out of these 8 bits, the first bit is used as the sign bit, means for plus or minus it is the result. Remaining 7 bits are used to store the data items. Okay, now one thing I will make you clear, data items are stored in the computer's memory in form of 0 and 1, that is in form of bits. Okay, so 7 bits for data means 7 zeros and ones can be stored. That means that make a bit pattern. Suppose 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1, like this 7 zeros and ones, that make a pattern. So each bit pattern represents a number. Each bit pattern represents a number. For example, 0 0 0 0 7 0 represents 0, 6 0 and last one 5 0 and 1 0 2, like that. Each bit pattern represents a number. So to store to know what is the range of the data to be stored in a byte variable, then you should know how many bit patterns can be created using 7-bit memory. Mathematically it is minus 2 to the power 7 to 2 to the power 7 minus 1, because plus minus is there for sign bit. That's why either you can take you take minus 2 to the power 7 to 2 to the power 7 minus 1. That is 2 to the power 7 means minus 128. 2 to the 7 means minus 128 to 128. 2 to the 7 minus 1 is equal to 127. So see, it occupies 1 byte in the computer's memory. Using this 1 bytes of memory, numbers from minus 128 to plus 127 can be stored. That means if your required data is in between minus 128 to 127, then you can declare a variable of type byte. How to declare it? You declare in this way: byte b is equal to the number, and this 23 is in between minus 127 to minus 128. So I have taken 23. So 23 is a byte type of data, and 23 can be stored in a byte type of variable b. Okay, this is the byte data type. Then short type. Short data type is also integer data type. It occupies 2 bytes in the computer's memory. 2 bytes means 2 to the 16 bytes. sorry 2 into 8 16 bits. Out of 16 bit, first bit is used for sign bit, remaining 15 bit are used to store data. Using these 15 bits of memory, numbers from 2 to the power minus 2 to the power 15 to 2 to the power 15 minus 1 can be stored. As I told, 1 bit is used to store the sign bit, so remaining 7 bit for data. So using this 7 bit of memory, numbers from minus 2 to the power 15 to 2 to the power 15 minus 1 can be stored. So in this way you see how to store it. 2 to minus 2 to the power minus 2 to the 15 to 2 to the 15 minus 1 can be stored. You can declare a variable like this, short a is equal to 1, in this way you can store. Okay, then int, like short, int is also a primitive data type which is used to store an integer constant. It occupies 4 bytes or 32 bits in the computers. 4 bytes, 4 into 8, 32 bits in the computer's memory. Out of these 32 bits, first bit is used as sign bit and remaining 31 bits is used to store the data. Okay, then using these 31 bits are used to store data. Using these 31 bits of memory, numbers from minus 2 to the power 31 to 2 to the power 31 can be stored. You can declare a variable as int a is equal to, you can declare int a is equal to say any number within that range, within the range minus 2 to the power 31 to 2 to the power 31 you can store. Then long, like int long occupies 8 bits, 8 bytes or 64 bits. Okay, out of 64 bits, first bit is used as sign bit, remaining 63 bits are used to store the data items. Using these 63 bits of memory, numbers from minus 2 to the power 63 to 2 to the power 63 minus 1 can be stored. You can declare a variable like this, long c is equal to a long number, big number you can store. Okay, then floating, so it is the 4 integer data types, byte, short, int, long. Then next two floating point data type, one is used to store single precision real number, one is used to store double precision real number. Float and double are two floating point data types. Float is used to store single precision real number, double is used to store double precision real number. In single precision real number, there are a maximum 8 digits after the decimal point, but in double precision real number there can be more than 8, that is up to 16 digits after the decimal point. Okay, so float can be declared like this. So float occupies 4 bytes in the computer's memory. Using these 4 bytes of memory, there is a range of data. In that range you can store, that is 3.4e, that is minus 3.4e38 to plus 3.4e38 can be stored. This is the range you have to remember, minus 3.4e30, for exponent, minus 3.4e38 to 3.4e38. The value is minus 3.4e38 means minus 3.4 into 10 to the power 38 to 3.4 into 10 to the power 38 can be stored. Okay, so to declare a variable you can take float k is equal to 23.65 f is taken because it is a floating point literal. If you do not take f, then that will be considered double. So f should be written in a single, for the single precision real number. So this is single precision real number. Okay, float. Then double, it occupies 8 bytes or 64 bits in the computer's memory. Float occupies 4 bytes or 32 bits. Okay, and double occupies 8 bytes or 64 bits in the computer's memory. Using this, out of these 64 bits, first bit is used as sign bit, like long and other data types, and remaining 63 bits are used to store the data. And using these 63 bits of memory, this is the range of memory, numbers from minus 1.7e308 to plus 1.7e308 can be stored. This is the range of data for the double precision real number. Okay, you can declare a variable like this, double d is equal to 34.89. Here f is not used because by default a floating point literal is double precision. By default a floating point literal is double precision, so no special character is alphabet is required for this. You can declare in this way, double d is equal to 34.89. Okay, then we will discuss on non-numeric data type. Char, boolean are the non-numeric data type. Okay, Car data type occupies 2 bytes in the computer's memory. As I told, in other programming language, car occupies 1 byte, whereas in Java it occupies 2 bytes, because so that we can store all 65,536 characters, that is characters of a Unicode character set in the variable. That's why it occupies 2 bytes, means 2 bytes is 16 bits. So using this 16 bits memory, 2 to the power 16 is equal to 65,536 can be stored. So car data type occupies 2 bytes in the computer's memory. Using these 2 bytes of memory, all 65,536 characters can be stored, which includes all the characters of a Unicode character set. Okay. So you declare the variable like this: car C is equal to P. Okay. So P must be kept enclosed in single quote because it is a character constant. Like this, you can store any character using a character variable. Then Boolean data type. Boolean data type is used to store the result of a condition, that is true or false. No doubt internally true is represented by 1 and false is represented by 0, but Boolean literal occupies 1 byte in the computer's memory, and it can store your Boolean constant, that is true or false. Okay, it occupies 1 byte, that is 8 bits, but use only 1 bit, because internally true is represented by 1 and false is represented by 0. That's why it stores only it occupies 8 bit or 1 byte, but use only 1 bit, that is for 0 and 1 only 1 bit is required. Okay, you can declare like boolean b is equal to true. So when you are writing boolean b is equal to true, b variable occupies 1 byte or 8 bits in the computer's memory, but when you write boolean constant, you have tried without true or false, without any punctuation in lowercase, but internally in b 1 will be stored. In this case, if it is false, then 0. Okay, then what is reference data type? Reference data type means the data type which is used to store a variable, and that variable holds the memory address of a cell or a reference. Reference nothing but it is the memory address of a cell. That's why we say it is a reference data type. Through the memory address, we can refer any data type stored in that memory. Okay, your object, array are the reference data types. Object, array, class name are the reference data type. You see, reference data types are the user-defined data type. It does not occupy fixed space in the computer's memory, because suppose we have declared 3 variables, one class, another class 4 variables, another class declared 5 variables. So when the object of the class is created, the data type of the object is its class name. Data type of the object is its class name, and that class name is known as the user defined data type, and that data type does not occupy fixed space. Depending upon the user, the number of variables declared inside the class, that much of data, that much of space is occupied or reserved by the data type. Okay, so reference data types are the user defined data types. It does not occupy fixed space in the computer's memory. It is used to store the memory address of a cell, name of the class, string, array are the reference data type. Okay, next. Now, type conversion. This is very important concept, type conversion. Normally, when we are going to solve an expression, mathematical expression, then also it is necessary to convert one operand, data type of one operand to another operand. I am telling you. For example, suppose I will ask you to multiply 5 liter into 10 milliliter. Then what you have to do? Either you have to convert liter into milliliter or milliliter into liter. So conversion of unit is required to perform any calculation. Okay, then both the operands are of same type, so that calculation can be performed. In the same manner, in Java also, to solve an expression, all the operands are of same type. To make all the operands of same type, the conversion is required. So it is necessary to convert one data type to another data type in order to solve an expression. To make all the operands of all the operands are of same type in an expression. The smallest expression is 2 operand and 1 operator. Suppose A by B. A and B must be of same type, so that A by B can be solved. Okay. So type 1, it is of 2 type. Type conversion are of 2 type. One is implicit type conversion, one is explicit type conversion. In implicit type conversion, the lower data types are converted into higher data type. Lower data type means byte is lower data type than short, int, long, float, double. Short is the smallest data type compared to int, long, float, double, like that. So if you are going to convert byte into short, int, long, float, double, then implicit type conversion. It will be done by the implicit type conversion. Means this type of conversion is done by the compiler automatically. So it is also known as promotion, because lower data types are converted into higher data type, are promoted to higher data type automatically. So it is known as type promotion or implicit type conversion. In this case, there will be no loss of data or no loss of precision, because a small amount of data we can keep in a big space, in a large space we can keep. So there is no loss of precision. Byte occupies 1 byte. Suppose int occupies 4 bytes. Easily I can store the data byte type in the variable of int type. Okay, easily I can store. So that means in implicit type conversion, lower data types are converted into higher data type. It is done by the compiler. In this case, there is no loss of precision. It is done by the compiler automatically. It is also known as coercion or type promotion. Coercion or type promotion. Okay. Now, what is implicit type conversion? I have to put it there. Implicit type conversion. Now write down. In this type of type conversion, lower data types are converted into higher data type. In this conversion, there is no loss of precision or data. It is performed automatically by the compiler. It is also known as type promotion or coercion. So in this case, you say double d is equal to 45. 45 is integer, d is of type double. So easily I can store 45 in d. When 45 is stored in d, automatically 45 will be converted to double. So value of d will be 45.0. If you print d, then it will display 45.0, because 45, the integer is converted to double automatically. Then explicit type conversion. Sometimes intentionally we are going to convert higher data type into lower data type. So suppose int data type to byte data type, int data type to short data type, float data type to int data type, double to float type, double to int type, double to byte type. Sometimes it is required to perform. This type of conversion is known as explicit type conversion. This type of conversion cannot be done automatically or cannot be done by the compiler. This type of conversions are done by the user explicitly, intentionally. Okay, so that's why it is known as type casting. It is necessary to mention the cast type or the conversion type. Okay, so in explicit type conversion, higher data types are converted into lower data type. Okay, it is done by the user explicitly. In this case, there is no loss of there is loss of precision, as you are going to store data of higher data type in a data of lower data type, means there will be loss of precision. For example, when you are going to store int data in a data type of byte, then what happens? Int occupies 4 bytes, byte occupies 1 byte. So data space 4 byte you are going to store in a space of 1 byte. Therefore, there must be loss of data or there will be loss of precision or loss of data. Okay, see, this is write down. In this type of type conversion, higher data types are converted into lower data type. In this conversion, there is loss of precision. It is performed by the user. It is also known as type casting. Okay, because it is necessary to mention cast type. This is the cast type. Int is the cast type. Now see, this is example. Int a is equal to int 23.56. This 23.56 is of type double, which occupies 8 bytes in the computer's memory. But in this case, I am going to store it in an int type which occupies 4 bytes in the computer memory. So data of 8 bytes I am going to store in a space of 4 bytes. So automatically this one will be data will be there will be loss of data. That is, in this case 23 will be stored in A and 56 will be deleted. So decimal part will be deleted. Okay. So up to this for today, I will come soon with the remaining portion of this chapter. Subscribe the channel Cyber Class to get all the updates. Okay, waiting for your valuable comments. Thank you very much.